Well, the landowner was still doing some work on the property when Ben and I arrived, so we had a chance to do some stargazing and spotted Comet Neowise. And a little while later, after the landowner left, Carpe Sus, Ben spotted these hogs on the far side of the property, and we made our way across the property, across the creek. And here we've caught them in the pasture. The fence line to the left is the neighbor's property. We want to keep them on our side of the field if at all possible. So Ben is targeting a larger hog on the left side, and I'm targeting one of the smaller hogs on the left.
Oh crap.
Which moved into the middle, so I had to pick an even smaller one. And so I'll take one up front.
2, 1. Let him go over to the hill.
Ben is having some problem with his hog over here on the right-hand side.
However, that one,
He's knocked it down after being hit twice. And now the hog's gotten up.
Thank you.
So I join in and get it knocked down. And it looks like we have 5 hogs down.
I didn't see all those to the right.
Yeah. Recording off.
And then Ben's hog gets up again.
He's up again. He's not going anywhere now.
So we started off the night with 5 hogs. Moving on to the next property, we spied this sounder out in this field. Here we're standing in the driveway of the owner's house.
We got more coming in.
There's more coming in, but all the hogs out in the field have cattle behind them.
Do you have a good shot on it?
So we moved into a position where we can both see hogs downrange with no cattle behind them. As you can see from the graphic, I'm still using a Lone Star Armory multi-purpose carbine enhanced.
Yes, you can.
Sighted with the Trijicon IR Hunter Mark III thermal scope.
Waiting for recorder. Waiting for recorder. Shooter's ready.
3, 2, 1.
Now the plan was for one shot and one shot only because of the cattle downrange.
Let him go.
Okay.
But I have this one hog run back to the original position where it was hanging, and I put it down as well. All of the hogs turned out to be females, and we had our first bullet recovered for the night, all the previous shots having been pass-throughs. And this was on the larger hog that I shot with the Hornady Black ELD-M. Entering the left side, breaking the shoulder, traversing the thoracic cavity, and embedding itself in the muscle on the opposite side. Not bad performance. Now this next hog actually gave us fits. This is our second stalk on this hog. The first time it disappeared on us. We left the property, searched another property, came back, saw it again, and here we're making our second approach. And we followed it up into the cattle where we don't have a shot at this time. We're waiting for the cattle to move out of the way. And while that happens, I'll mention that Ben's shooting a 308 with a 14.5-inch barrel, shooting 2 ammos, 165 grain ammo, and sighting with the Trijicon IR Hunter Mark III 35mm and 2.5X. Finally, the cattle have moved out of the way. There's nothing to the left or right. We've got a clear shot. We're just waiting for the hog to turn.
3, 2, 1.
2 shots.
Let him go.
2 hits. And the hog still manages to run. But not very far. He came in at 170 pounds. Both shots having hit on the right side, where you can see right here. And the bullets were recovered on the opposite side in the shoulder. Now this was the only 308 soft point recovered. Taking a look at the damage to the bullet, doesn't look like it had very good performance. It looks like it did try to open up, but it also looks like it tumbled and ended up compressing laterally. It got good penetration, but doesn't look to be ideal for hunting purposes. The Hornady Black did alright as well. It seemed to open up in a textbook fashion. Had pretty good weight retention, although it looks like a good bit of the weight would have fallen off had a chance to go much further.
What do you think he is?
He stopped. We can go. We can move up.
We moved on to our next property, spied another hog. Off in the distance, it moved away from us.
Let's move up to that pole.
And then it stopped, and so here we've moved up on it, and unfortunately the cattle came right along with
They're moving
us.
into our field of view.
Just one of them.
Yeah, that's too many.
Let it slide to the right.
So we're going to make about a 10-yard shift to the right side so that we can keep the cattle off to the left, and we'll be shooting by the cattle and not at the cattle. As it turns out, I don't think Ben was too impressed with his tool ammo 165 grain ammo out of a 14.5 inch barrel. Turns out it's going to have a lot of drop at 210 yards.
3, 2, 1.
And despite being on target, his shot did not connect.
Holy cow, we hit a pig.
Nicely done.
Brass Catcher by Tactical Brass Recovery.
This turned out to be the largest hog of the night, and also the longest shot. The bullet entering the center of the neck on the right-hand side, going in and penetrating the cervical vertebra very nicely, dropping the hog in place, penetrating about a total of 9 inches, and embedding itself in the muscle tissue on the opposite side after breaking up. Now this is really interesting. Check out the bits of bone that are embedded into the lead matrix of the bullet from where the bullet went through the cervical vertebrae. We checked on some additional properties, but it looked like it was just going to be 10 for the night. Carpe sus, my friends.